You dropped by today. My name is Linda Phippen, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ontario, Canada. So I'm glad that you're here. Hope that your week has gone well and you've had a chance to relax and stay safe. Today I have some fun cards I hope you will enjoy, and let's just get started. So this stamp set is from the Celebration catalog itself, which is a free product when you spend $60 or $120 from the Mini Catalogue, which came out in July and it goes to December of 21. So there's lots of fun projects, lots of fun product, and we will be able to order August 3rd, and as a demonstrator I was able to pre-order some things. So let me just share with you, because it is absolutely a beautiful set. It's called Delicate Dahlias, and this stamp does this flower justice because it is a beautiful flower, and as you can see, so many petals, and they come in such amazing colors. And yeah, so this is the stamp set. There are no dies with this, but today we're just going to do some stamping. So here, just to give you an idea, it's like a little math class because here is one stamp, and here's the outline of the stamp, and if you put them together you get a very pretty flower, of which both of them can be used independently, so you don't have to use them and line them up. And this is the same with this smaller flower, which again, it has the outline, the fill-in, oh, did that backwards, the outline and the fill-in and the total flower together. And the same thing with this. We have two stamps, and if you put them together they have them together. So but they can be used individually as well. So I'll give you an idea of how we can use those. So the first card we're going to use is stamped directly on the front of the card, and there is a little fussy cutting because I did a second layer. This is with Gorgeous Grape, and we are going to use these soft pastels. Now I am new to pastels, although they're very similar to chalk. So the colors that that we're going to use today are the Gorgeous Grape. So we're going to use the Gorgeous Grape and the Mossy Meadow. Then we're going to use the Daffodil Delight and a little bit of Poppy Parade. So those are the colors that we're going to use today. So don't be intimidated by these at all, because they're actually fun and easy to use. So let me just get our pieces. I'll put that up there. Pieces that I pre-cut and got ready. And I usually have them stamped already, but I just wanted to show you how easy this is and how nicely it shows up. So this is the memento, black memento. So we're just going to put a black outline here and a couple of these flowers, and because I'm going to stamp off the paper, I'm just going to bring in my little sheet to catch the excess. Okay, so we've got a flower here, and I've got 3 up here. And that was pretty quick. And then before we color it in, we'll just use some old olive I've used for this one. And the leaves, so just to give you an idea how nicely they stamp. I mean, there's all the vines in them. Looks very, very nice. Okay, and then we'll put some tiny little ones. I don't know what that is. Something on my stamp pad. Okay, so we'll just put some leaves. Move that so that I don't make my leaves black. And just a few leaves here. Okay, so that is the front of the card. Now this is let the fun begin. I just want to wipe that off so we don't get it on our hands. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. So there are a number of ways to do this, so I did experiment with it. So it is very chalky, so you can use the kind of the pieces that come off of the chalk to do the coloring, or you can use it directly. So I'm going to show you some ways to do it. So you can use a cotton ball or one of our ink daubers, and I did have some cotton swabs here, but let's just do this. So, okay, so let's just get an idea of how it goes on. Very, very smoothly. So the dauber works nicely. The cotton ball is the same idea. And if you want to go on directly onto your image, you can. And you can either use the dauber, or if you really don't really care, you can use your finger. So that, honestly, is how easy that is. So I took the smaller flowers and just put some yellow on the inside, and I took a yellow dauber and just kind of evened it out a little bit. And again, it was so easy to just add a little bit of Poppy Parade and either use a dauber or your finger or a cotton ball. And there's no you don't have to feel like you have to be an expert at doing this at all, because the fun part of it is just playing. So that's how I colored that. And I'll just get rid of some of the chalk here. Now, to give it dimension, I did the same thing, except I colored it already and gave it a little bit of color on it. And if you want it even darker, you certainly can add more. And because I already stamped the leaves, I guess we don't really need the what is it called? Old Olive, or Granny Apple Green, or Mossy Meadow. Could be one of those. So I just put some dimensions on the back. And there we go. And you don't have to line it up one little bit. So put that on. And then you just put it on the front of your card. And the sentiment that I have, I changed it to Happy Anniversary because I need an anniversary card for this weekend. But even on the other card that says hello, you still could say hello and Happy Anniversary. So I'm going to put it at the top of this card. And I have a couple of gems that will look just great there. And a small one on a sentiment, and then a small one over here. So what I did on the inside of the card is a sample that I had made previously, and I just cut strips and put it on the top and the bottom. So that is card number 1. So do not be afraid of these pastels, because they were fun to work with and they aren't messy at all, really. So card number 1. So the second card is the stamp set, not the outline, but the filler in part of the stamp set. So I've got the pieces that we're going to need. So let me just turn this one over so it's a little cleaner. And while we're doing it, we will do the inside of the card at the same time. Okay, so I gotta put this one over there so I don't. So the 3 colors that we're going to use for the flowers on this are Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight, and Flirty Flamingo. So we'll go with the Balmy Blue first. And what I tried to do was put each flower at a different spot on this stripe or strip. So let's go there. Okay, so for the inside of the card, I double stamped. So we'll start with the full strength of the stamp, and then a second stamp that is much lighter. So clean that off. And the next color is Daffodil Delight. And when I did this the first time, I didn't clean off my stamp, and I got green flowers. So clearly yellow and blue make green. So I'm trying to be very diligent this time. So we'll put the Daffodil Delight in the middle, and we'll do a darker and a lighter on this side. Wipe that off. And Flirty Flamingo. The detail on this flower is so pretty. So very pretty. Okay, so in that quick stamping, we did the inside and the outside of the card. I'll put the dimensions on the description below. So what I found for this, for me at least, I did try to line them up the best that I could to give myself an idea of where they would go. And once I got that determined, I started with the middle. Come on. There we go. Started with the middle. And then it gave me something to work with, I hope. Okay, this looks like it needs to go over a little bit. I'm making this look a lot harder than it was because it wasn't that hard to do. Okay, did I get both sides? There, we just do this one as well. Okay, so there is the front of the card. So we'll put that on. And the inside of the card, I also put a black layer on. Black so often just sets everything off nicely. Okay, so that's the inside of the card. The outside of the card, I put just wanted to say. So just take the dimensions off and stick it right there. And then I put the gems on the inside of, or the center of each flower. and nice big ones. And these are the opal rounds. Okay, so there we have card number 2. You saw what I did, eh? I put that upside down, but I'm thrown by the fact that this is not straight, so I'm going to have to sort that out. As long as you don't open the card, it looks fine. But this is card number 2. A very quick card and very pretty. Card number 3 is a lovely birthday card for someone special, and I did that on the inside. So this is very easy to do. So let's just get a clean sheet, and so we have the inside of the card and the outside. And again, I'm using the detailed part of the dahlia for the background and for that as well. So this is used with Blackberry Bliss, and this for sure is something that makes you feel very creative, and it is so fun to do. So what I've done, so I'm just going to put that aside for a second because I'm going to use the larger flower. I did the first stamp, and then I went and inked it, and then did it with less amount of ink on it. And I've got some on my fingers. Okay, well, let's just cover that up and see if we can get that covered up. Look at that, you wouldn't even know it was on there. Mistakes are easy, really, to fix up. Okay, so there I put the larger stamp on, and I need to get some more wipes here. Okay, the smaller flower is what I used to fill in that didn't quite get filled. So again, first strength and second strength. And this ink is so strong, it does a great job at being able to be used more than once. And that I will call is our designer series paper. Isn't that pretty? So for the inside, so that's the outside layer. The inside, I took a circle with the bit of scallop, which is the same size or a little bit bigger than what's going to go on the front of our card. So I did the same thing with just the smaller flower. So 2 strengths, and if you don't get it all, not to worry, because I took the blending brush and just kind of finished it off. Not very very dark, because you want to still see the flowers. But when I take the circle off, you will see how pretty this looks for the inside of a card. So you take the circle off, and there is the inside of our card. So you could finish putting a personal sentiment there. So that is the stamping. So let me make sure that I get my card the right way. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get both of our layers on, our front and inside of the card. So this is the outside, and I just think that is so stunning, because even on each one of these flowers, like, it stamps on its own the darkness and the shading, and oh, it's very, very pretty. Okay, so then the inside of the card, which is now completed, just a few more steps. Okay, so what I did was I did gold embossing, and I will show you quickly how easy embossing is without actually doing it. Very important to take your anti-static, whatever kind you have, so that you don't get the embossing powder on it. And this one is the outline part, so I put it on with Versamark. I keep saying marker, but mark. So it goes on that easily. Then you put your, in this case, gold embossing powder on, and the Versamark will hold it on. You can see it there. And then you take your heat tool and you melt all of the embossing powder, and the result is this lovely gold. Let's see if you can see it. So it's very elegant. So I will emboss that later and clean up my embossing powder later. Okay, so I tried to get 2 pieces of embossing, the embossing flower on here, as you can see, which looks pretty for another card, but it's not what I wanted. So anyway, in trying to be efficient, I'm not efficient. So we just put a little bit of gold border, and before we put that on, I have this gold twine that we have, and I just did 3 times around, gave it a little snip, and come on, put it on the back of the card, or the flower. And I will just cut off the excess. So this just adds a little, just a little gold look. And just a second, I'm going to put some more on here. So you can make that bigger or just move it around. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Then we have Happy Birthday, which again is encircled with or layered with gold. And that is card number 3. So I really, oh, just a second. Anyway, you can put some, this one here, we'll put, I put some gold little gems on there as well. So there is our 3 cards. And some really, lots of neat ideas, and feel free to use the ideas because it's okay to use each other's ideas. It's all Stampin' Up products. So those are the 3 cards for today. I hope you enjoyed them, and the methods can be used for most cards that you can create. Thank you for dropping by. It was nice spending time with you and creating these cards, and thank you again for subscribing and your kind words, and have a great week, and I will talk and show you some new ideas and work on something different for next week. So bye for now and take care. Bye-bye.